Everyone. I'm going to look into this story about Brooklyn Beckham. Um, it looks like to me that, well, he posted this thing on Instagram about how horribly done by he was by his parents, but we don't know, do we? We never know what's behind the scenes. So I'm going to look into this story with my pendulum. And so, yes is vertical, no is horizontal. So let's get into it. His statement said from Instagram, I've been silent for years and made every effort to keep these matters private. Unfortunately, my parents and their team have continued to go to the press, leaving me with no choice but to speak for myself and tell the truth about only some of the lies that have been printed. That is going to yes. Um, I do not want to reconcile with my family. I'm not being controlled. I'm standing up for myself for the first time in my life. Yep, going to yes. For my entire life, my parents have controlled narratives in the press about our family. Oh, that is swinging big to yes. The performative social media posts, family events, and inauthentic relationships have been a picture of the life I was born into. Recently, I have seen with my own eyes the length that they'll go through to place countless lies in the media, mostly at the expense of innocent people to preserve their own facade. But I believe the truth always comes out. This is all going to yes, guys. All these statements. So my parents have been trying endlessly to ruin my relationship. I want to see if that. My parents have been trying endlessly to ruin my relationship since before my wedding. Yes, and it hasn't stopped. My mom canceled making Nicola's dress in the 11th hour despite how excited she was to wear her design, forcing her to urgently find a new dress. Wow, that is going to yes. And all we heard was Nicola canceled. Um, Weeks before our big day, my parents repeatedly pressured and attempted to bribe me into signing away the rights to my name. That's going to yes, which would have affected me, my wife, and our future children. They were adamant on me signing before my wedding date because then the terms of the deal would be initiated. My holdout affected the payday, and they have never treated me the same yet since. That's all going to yes. During the wedding planning, my mom went so far as to call me evil because Nicola and I chose to include, well, both their grandmothers because they didn't have their husbands. Both of our parents had their own tables equally adjacent to ours. Um, so the night before our wedding, members of my family told me that Nicola was not blood and not family. Is that true or not? Now that's going to know. Since the moment I started standing up for myself with my family, I've received endless attacks from my parents, both privately and publicly, and that's going to yes, that were sent to the press on their orders. Even my brothers were sent to attack me on social media. That's swinging yes. Before they ultimately blocked me out of nowhere this last summer. They said they woke up blocked. My mom hijacked my first dance with my wife, which had been planned weeks in advance to a romantic love song. In front of our 500 wedding guests, Mark Anthony called me to the stage where in the schedule was planned to be my romantic dance with my wife, but instead, my mom was waiting to dance with me instead. That's all going to yes. She danced very inappropriate on me in front of everyone. That is going to yes. I've never felt more uncomfortable or humiliated in my entire life, poor thing. But if that is true, that is bad. We wanted to renew our vows so we could create new memories of our wedding day that brought us joy and happiness, not anxiety and embarrassment. Wow, that's why they did that. Uh, my wife has been consistently disrespected by my family. Sorry, that is going to know. No matter how hard we've tried to come together as one. My mom has repeatedly invited women from my past into our lives in ways that were clearly intended to make us both feel uncomfortable. That's going to yes. Despite this, we still traveled to London for my dad's birthday and were rejected for a week as we waited in our hotel trying to plan quality time with him. He refused all our attempts unless it was at his big birthday party with 100 guests and cameras at every corner. That's going to yes, and I don't doubt that. When he finally agreed to see me, it was under the condition that Nicola wasn't invited. Oh, that is going to yes. It was a slap in the face. Later, when my family traveled to LA, they refused to see me at all. Going to yes. That's going to yes. Okay. My family values public promotion and endorsement above all else. Is that true? Is that true? Is that a true statement? That's going to yes. Brand Beckham comes first. Yep. Family love is decided by how much you post on social media or how quickly you drop everything to show up and pose for a family photo, even if it's at the expense of our professional obligations. We've gone out of the way for years to show up and support at every fashion show, every party, and every press to show our perfect family. But the one time my wife asked for my mom's support to have displaced dogs during the LA fires, my mom refused. Oops. The narrative, and that is going to yes too. The narrative that my wife controls me is completely backwards. I've been controlled by my parents for most of my life. I grew up with overwhelming anxiety. Yep, it's going for the first time in my life since stepping away from my family. That anxiety has disappeared. I wake up every morning grateful for the life I chose and have found peace and relief. My wife and I do not want a life shaped by image press or manipulation. All we want is peace, privacy, and happiness for us and our future family. And that's going to yes. Okay, well you saw it here. That's kind of shocking, isn't it? Okay, thank you all so much for being here and all of your support. Thank you, and I will see you on the next one.